What's up? Welcome into the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia.
Come on.
Joe Yacht.
Come on.
Matt Warner here.
Come on.
You know, normally, Joe,
come on.
We go into a show and I feel like, all right, there's some pretty clear-cut directions we want to go.
We don't know.
Like, there's some pretty, like, all right, we can really hone in on this. We got this going on. I don't really know.
I don't know.
Liberty Falls, Liberty football, 21-7 at Old Dominion. Flames now 1-4. And it feels like
what direction are we going?
Well, yeah.
What direction are we going today, Matt Warner?
Where are we right now? No, I feel like a little bit like Jamie Chadwell, what he said in his post-game comments, which is same thing, different week, is basically what he said. Same stuff, different game. Flames offensively just struggle so badly. Second straight week, they have had fewer than 80 passing yards. That's hard to do in college football if you're not like one of the academies. You know what I mean? If you're not like, running
Navy.
Navy or Army, something like that. That's hard to do. The offense struggles mightily in the loss. Defense showed some things, so we can get into some positives in terms of what the defense did, forcing turnovers. But, I mean, where do you go? 1-4. Like, who would have ever thought that Liberty would be sitting here? You remember at the beginning of the year, there were the stats of like, most likely best chance to go undefeated. Mm-hmm. Like Liberty, because their schedule was in that mix.
Right.
Liberty before the year.
That ship sailed.
The Conference USA Bowl confidence meter or whatever, Liberty was 100% chance to make a bowl game. And everyone's like, of course they were. Like, I don't know what kind of odds you could have gotten on Liberty missing a bowl game, but it would have been ridiculous. Now you're sitting at where, like ESPN, I think had Liberty like 25% chance to get to 6 wins now at this point. What are we doing, Joe? What are we doing? Like, where are we at? Like, I don't know where to go with this. Like, obviously there's a lot of frustration on every side.
Yeah.
But offensively, it doesn't make sense. Even take out the injury situation at the quarterback. Like they weren't exactly scoring points before that, but it just doesn't make sense how we've gotten here offensively.
I mean, if you look at if you're to break down the tape, I think to the coaches it probably does make sense. And what makes sense is that in order to win football games, I don't care what level you're at, in order to win football games, you got to have a good offensive line, and most importantly, you have to have somebody that is solid at the quarterback position, right? And the combination of those two things has, like, if you get into the details of this, right? Like, where's it gone wrong? It's gone wrong with, your starting quarterback's injured, but that starting quarterback's also been under an incredible amount of duress in the passing game, especially because of poor offensive line play, poor pass protection, right? Which then, defenses know that, they smell that, they feed off of that, and it's a downhill spiral after that, because it's just like you said. I mean, let's look at the reality of it. The reality of it is that Old Dominion scored 21 points.
Yeah,
21 points. This all goes back to the same thing. Like, Coach Chadwell was originally brought here because his offense scored a ton of points. Yeah. It wasn't like it was the history of his coaching career was like, hey, man, we just play incredible defense.
No, and it wasn't. That was the struggle at Coastal.
That was the struggle at Coastal, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, the defense you can't get mad at the defense.
No. You've lost games, to your point, giving up 23 against Bowling Green and 21 against Old Dominion.
And Old Dominion scored 40-some on Virginia Tech, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? And so, like, your defense is getting red zone turnovers.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 of them?
Yeah, Old Dominion had been scored on 10 of 10 red zone possessions before this game. They turned it over 3 times in the red zone against Liberty.
And it was also one of those things where like, on the good bright side of things, like, I love that it's clear the offense is struggling.
Yeah.
It's clear, like, you can if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you can let those thoughts creep into your mind, like, what are we doing over there?
Yeah.
Right? And then what does that do? That affects how you play the game, and all of a sudden, like, you want to talk about a downhill spiral, then it can really downhill spiral.
Yeah.
Right? But no, This defense, a guy's scrapping in to come in to stick the ball over the line from the 1 yard line, and they're still fighting, popping the ball out and making plays. Like, I respect that. Like, Kyle Krantz, Skylar McGee, those dudes over there, those guys are scrapping, they're fighting, they're clawing for everything, and they're not sitting there playing the blame game over there on the offense.
Yeah.
And so, like, that is, like, if you want to take positive, you have no idea how positive. You have no idea how difficult that is to do. To hold it together when the offense is struggling the way the offense is struggling.
And you also did it with Amarian Williams getting tossed for targeting, and Brylan Green going down with injury.
Yeah.
And so they were beat up in the back end of that defense, and they still were able to do well. And I don't want to hear, like, I know I saw some people being like, oh, they gave up a bunch of yards. That defense. Listen, if Liberty's offense is able to score some points and they win this game, you're saying that's your classic bend but don't break defense, right? You're
right.
Preaching all that stuff. So I know they gave up a bunch of yards. I know what is the total yards? 489 yards, right? I know they gave up some yards, but listen, you turned somebody over 4 times. I looked up, and again, who knows? This is these numbers are all a little fuzzy, but according to our friends at ChatGPT, in the past 5 seasons in FBS football, you you force 4 turnovers. You win 75 to 80% of the time.
It's unbelievable.
Like that's the way it typically goes when you force that many turnovers and you couldn't cash in.
The other thing too, it's like, you're going to give up yards because, like, if you're not moving the football offensively and you're giving the ball back, and the more chances they have, the more yards they're going to give up. But it's such a credit to them. Then we can flip over here to the offense here in a second. But it's such a credit to them of the fight.
Yeah.
That's what
I talked about that last week. You wanted to see what was the punt. You had a good little rant on the punch or whatever.
You got to punch.
You don't even remember.
Yeah, I do. I do remember the punch. Like you got to
can't affect the punch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We got to keep the punch. They kept the punch. They kept the punch.
Yeah.
And I have a great deal of respect for that side of the football and how they're doing things. Like, it's fantastic. It all goes back to this. It all goes back to points on the scoreboard.
Right.
My dad used to always say to me when
CFL Hall of Fame coach.
CFL Hall of Fame coach, right?
Silver Fox.
The Silver Fox, legendary coach. And we used to talk football all the time. And I'd say, well, Dad, who you got quarterback battle? Who's going to play quarterback? He said, I don't care. Plays whoever puts the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
I don't care what he looks like.
Yeah.
Whoever scores the most points. The job is to get the ball down and score points. Yeah. If I don't care what you look like. I don't care what it is. Whoever the dude is that scores the most points is going to play quarterback for me.
Yeah.
End of conversation. So now, if we want to flip over the offense side of the ball.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the question. Like, who can you do that? Here's what I didn't love, and we don't know the Vasco situation going forward. Chadwell said early last week, oh, he's looking really good. He might be an option. That was probably gamesmanship on his part, trying to get ODU to have to prepare for him.
Yeah.
I don't know that he was ever really going to play, but we'll see. Like, a little bit of extra time leading up to this UTEP game, maybe he's back. Again, the offense wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire when he was playing the first time, but we'll see what that looks like. I didn't love the alternating quarterback thing against Old Dominion. I want to go in. Who's your best guy? Like, let's ride with him. Let's make the offense built around him. If it's Merdinger, let's go all in on what Merdinger does well. Like, you had the play, and this was in the fourth quarter. They had, in the second half, kind of gone away from alternating a little bit more. We hadn't seen any of Houck. It's a 1-score game early fourth quarter, 14-7. 4th and 2 on the Old Dominion 45. You bring Houck in, which his only pass attempt was, and he's a young kid, but it was a brutal interception.
Right.
Like, you're just signaling to that whole thing. We're running the ball, and it's probably going to be in his hands. And it was, and he got stuffed, and it was like, what? Like, I don't like the alternating quarterback. If you're going to go with a guy, let's go all in with somebody. Yeah. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think that's where that 100% is where my stance is right now on this whole thing, right? And that is that they've got offensive situation, right, where it's like you start pressing. You start pressing is like, because we have to score, we have to win the game. Yeah. Like, everybody's focus is on that, right? And you ever seen Nick Saban talk about the clip about playing transformational football instead of transactional football? Like, the idea behind the transaction is to win the game, right? And everybody focused on winning the game. And he's like, that led me, this is what he talked about when he's at Michigan State. He said that led him down a road of like all we talked about and cared about was winning the game, right? He said they're going to the Michigan State, they're going to play Ohio State, they're heavy underdogs. He doesn't think they can win the game.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to change my attitude towards this. I want to become transformational, right? I want to transform these guys as football players. The devil's in the details. I want to make sure that they're improving as individuals on and off the field, improving as players, and focus 100% on that.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you'll see the difference, which then the scoreboard takes care of itself. And it said his whole record changed, his whole attitude changed after that. And I think Liberty needs to go to a couple things. They need to go back more towards that. Say, okay, we're going to worry about when. No, worry about getting better at your job.
Yeah.
Worry about becoming a better football player. And worry about making decisions that put the team in the best possible position for each of the individual position groups to transform how they play and play the game better. And I think to your point, it's this. The best way to do that is to pick one guy at quarterback. And Merdinger, to me, when I watch him play, and I know things haven't gone great, obviously, but that guy, you can see it. There's a little savvy there. He just, to me, comes across the guy as the guy is like, if you just give me the keys to the car and go all in with me, that he's got the arm to do it. He's got the weapons at receiver to do it. He'll just figure out a way to make it happen. And then I really believe this. Merdinger, go all in on him. He's the guy, and get Vasco completely healthy.
Yeah.
And then see how it goes for a couple weeks. And say, then this is yours. And if you go out and you light it up for the next couple of weeks, dude, this is yours. Let's go on a roll with you, right? If not, then Vasco comes back and he's completely healthy. All right, we got to go back to our original guy. But right now and I'm telling you, I can see it. You can see like there's these little glimpses of, man, if we go all in on this dude and you give him all the practice reps, forget the split and 50-50 stuff, you're going to see a spark on this offense, and you're going to see this team rally around him. I really believe, and the key though is this: change the attitude from transactional transformation for each position group, go all in, and then let that spark happen. And when that spark happens, I'm telling you, watch out. They've got a chance.
Well, I still believe that this is a team with weapons at the receiver position.
Exactly.
I refuse to believe these guys aren't any good out there. I think they have guys. They haven't been able to get the ball to them. 2 of the 3 turnovers for Liberty were when Merdinger was on the sideline. So let's mention that. You had the option in the shadow of your own goal line. That was the late pitch. That was not a great decision or probably a great play in that situation with the true freshman quarterback. And then you had the interception from Houck as well on his only pass attempt. So you can say, and Chad will just talk about we turn it over too much. Well, 2 of those 3 came when Merdinger wasn't on the field because you were all saying quarterback. So didn't love that. So here's my only concern and pushback on that. I do think of those 2, Merdinger, for sure, I would go all in with him. The pass protection isn't great. Can you find ways to maximize what Merdinger does while throwing the football if you struggle to protect him? That's my only concern, because it did seem like there were a couple of times in this game where you wanted to throw the ball, pass rush comes, like his eyes drop to the pass rush, and then it's over. Like you have no chance. Like that's my only concern is, can you do enough up front to give him the opportunity to throw the ball, which I do think is something that he does well, and you have weapons, you can get the ball in their hands, but like he's getting harassed every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, I mean, the answer to that is, okay, well, let's look at the obvious on the offensive line. Let's start here. Play better.
Yeah. No, they need.
Here's a crazy idea.
Yeah.
You know what? Your back's against the wall. Play better.
Yeah.
Get in there and get into the details, get into the fundamentals, get into doing all things right. Spend the extra work. Do whatever you got to do. If you need to, you're struggling at left tackle. If you got to use the back to chip and to slow things down, do it. Yeah. But overall offense line, play better. Yeah. That's number 1. Yeah. Number 2 is you can develop some things, especially if you run the football decently. If you can, which we can do.
Yeah.
You can develop some things where you can get the ball out of his hand quicker, right? And you can also get the ball out of his hand quicker and still take some shots downfield. Because, I mean, we had, 80 yards passing, as you said? How many came on one play?
What was the one to Dante? Like
Dante Lee.
53 of those,
53.
of the 77 passing yards came on one play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, once again, like, Merninger gives you your best chance to be successful. Offensive line, play better.
Yeah.
And then go with Merninger at quarterback and then getting a little rhythm. And then at least you got a chance.
Yeah.
Because right now, with what you're doing, you don't have a chance.
No, it's not working right now. Also had 10 penalties, 70 yards. That wasn't great.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, the false starts and some of these penalties. Like, come on.
Yeah. Not good. Not good. When you look at it, kind of just, we've gone through now, some of the stats on this team. 17 points per game on the year. That's 123rd in the country. Only 11 teams worse. 107th in passing yards, 127th in completion percentage. That's the one that gets me because even with Vasco in there, like you weren't completing a lot of balls. Like there aren't many easy completions. You're just not getting many of those in this offense to this point in the year. So it's like at no point really have you felt like quarterback really is in a rhythm. Like you ever get him in a rhythm. It's always been, even with Vasco in there, we talked about that. A play breaks down, he's got to scramble, maybe find something on the run when things break. Like that's where he's had his most success as well. There just haven't been a lot of easy completions.
Okay, and you know what a big part of that is? Big part of that is the old saying, whenever you feel like you're in duress, it is human nature to go back to your most deeply held habits.
Okay. That's what they say in military stuff, right? You always fall back on your habits that you built or your training. Always fall back on your training.
Always fall back on your most deeply held habits, right? And so that's another reason why I want to go with Merninger.
Yeah.
Is because I think Merninger views himself as a passer, right?
Yeah.
I think Vasco views himself, and in Vasco's mind, when he's sitting there watching film and he's looking at everything, right?
Yep.
His deepest held habit is going to be to tuck it and run, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to say, okay, all right, we're going to ship in the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line today, right? Yeah. And the Steelers now are going to play O-line for the Flames. Vasco sit back in there and you're like, oh, I got protection, right? Can I throw the ball? Absolutely. Am I capable of throwing the ball? Am I confident I can throw the ball? Absolutely, right? He would stand in there, probably make some throws, right? But when he feels like he's going to be under duress constantly, he's not going to stand in there. He's going to go back to his most deeply held habit. His most deeply held habit is to run the football. I think Merninger's mindset is, and it goes back to the Yacht Talk thing we did when we broke down the film. It was like, dude, that dude stood in there, delivered a strike with a guy right in his face. Now, you can't do that every time or else you're not going to last very long. Yeah. So you do have to protect him somewhat. But I think Merninger, his mindset is that, man, I want to throw the football.
Yeah.
Give me enough time to throw the football. And that's going to be his most deeply held habit. And so that's what we need. We need that more than, man, we're just going to gut out a bunch of runs and lower our head until we get hurt.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what we need right now.
I was thinking about, Dante Lee's had a great year, and he's been very explosive in the pass game down the field. You haven't seen a lot of opportunities, whether it's a short route where a guy has a chance to run after the catch a lot. Like, I can't even think of many plays at all where a guy's like
bubble screens,
something like that, where you get him to the outside and you get a guy a chance to make a man miss and make something happen. Like, there just hasn't been a lot of that in this offense. And again, it's the blame you can spread it all around. But like Jamari Person, like there's guys where you're like, are they still on the team?
Yeah, I mean,
it's been so long since you've seen some of these guys like do anything. It's like, I don't know. It is frustrating, and it's frustrating that it's been such an extended stretch now. Liberty, 6 of their last 8 games haven't scored in the first quarter. 2 of the last 3 haven't scored in the first half. You go back now, 4-8 in their last 12 games. That's a full season's worth of games now we're working with, going back to last year. Liberty 4-8 in their last 12. They have not beaten an FBS team since November 23rd of last year against Western Kentucky and they've now trailed in 19 straight games. Like, this has been trending this way, and they got to figure something out. Like, you got, like the one good thing, and we can get into this if you want, but the one good thing is the schedule should get easier.
Yeah.
Now, there were times last year where I don't know if any of us would have said this is a good football team, but because the schedule is so bad, they were able to still win some tight games. So regardless of what this team is,
you're in a dogfight. Regardless of the schedule's getting easier, like especially right now, the rally point has to be towards the conference.
Yeah,
like that season. This season, we're 1-4. This season's behind us right now. We're 0-1 in conference. Right, we got a chance right now to play for once again. You're playing for that conference title, right?
Yeah.
If you get to that, that's great. But once again, you can't get wrapped up in that.
Yeah,
you can't get wrapped up in that. You get wrapped up into like, okay, now we're tested towards what is our, these teams talk about brotherhood and family and being together, right? That's easy when you're winning ball games.
Yep.
But when you're backed against the wall and you're preseason standing on top of the mountain, right, for the workout, and you're having this talk, okay, now you're going to find out if the thing's got any teeth to it.
Yeah.
Right? Does it really matter? Because you are backed up against the wall, right? And it isn't. You have to change the mindset from being, okay, we got to win this game. No, the mindset's going to be, no, we got to start by sticking together first on both sides. We got to start by defense. It doesn't matter what happens on offense. We're going to play as absolutely hard, and we've seen that. We're going to play as absolutely hard as we can, and we're not going to hold our heads down. We're just going to continue to fight and get better. Offense, we're going to recognize, hey, defense, thank you for playing your butts off and giving us the opportunity to have a chance. We're going to get better, right? Because you know why? Because we're in this thing together to the end. We're not going to talk about it. Now is not time to talk about it. Now's the time to show it.
Yeah. And I will say after the game, interview with Darrell Farrar, and they kind of asked him that about like, oh, how frustrating is it when you're, and he didn't go that route at all. He was like, no. We're doing our job. All we can do is do our job. We're focused on just doing that. And that's the attitude you have to have. Like, you come off that field of your defense, you can't even worry about what happens when the offense is on the field. You can't. Yeah. You can't let that drag you down.
And they talk about like, losing the team.
Yeah.
Right. And in the age of, reality is in the age of the transfer portal, right? This is like, it does. That's just the way this is the reality of it. Like, it goes one of two directions right now. You're going to find out a lot about this football team. And I think the other thing that we need to understand as fans, you're going to find out a lot about Flames Nation, right? Because they're still the fans want to win. Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yep.
Right? Like, I want to see this team win. You do. Everybody does, right? But at the same time, it's like there is still something from the winning aspect to play for. So now it's also for a time for the fans to show a little bit of their resolve and show up and support the team 100%, because if the players know the fans got their back also, that's when you can turn things around. But if they start seeing that thing fracture apart, and everybody's moaning and groaning and complaining, and I get it. Yeah. Like, you have the right to moan and groan and complain. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, the fans shouldn't at all. Like, that's the reality of the business, right? But it is a time right now with where the program's at, is that I think the fans need to rally. Because these players, this staff, the Liberty University, this football team still has something very important to play for.
Yeah, they do. And to that point, like, listen, when we talked to CJ Bazell before the season, what did he say? He said, we won 8 games last year. That's not good enough. He said, that may be good enough for some schools.
Right.
We don't view that as good enough.
Yep.
So
that's a good point.
The expectations from the fan base, listen, you can coach, you can be a lot of places where people don't care.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if people are all fired up about at FIU and what they're doing on the football field. Right. Maybe they are. Never really got that vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can be places like that where people just flat don't care. I think as a player, as a coach, whatever, you want to be in a situation where people care, where they're invested. But with that comes expectation.
100%.
Comes pressure. For Richie McKay said, pressure is a privilege, right? That's part of the deal.
Yeah.
So that. You want to be in a place where people are all in, where they care. But when it doesn't go well, you also have to know the flip side of that, which is, you know what? They still care a lot, and they're going to start asking hard questions, and they may, get frustrated and upset with how things are going. But to your point, if you're this coaching staff right now, as much as, the fan base may say, well, like, whatever, like, you can't spin this positive. Like, you do still have opportunity here.
Yeah.
Within conference play. You go on the road to UTEP. You get a few extra days playing on a Wednesday in the midweek here at UTEP. If you win that game, you then have 3 straight home games after that.
There you go.
Like, there is a path to at least getting back in the mix here in conference play. I'm not sunshine and rainbow guy usually. You know that.
Yeah.
But if you can go on the road and win that game, all of a sudden, you have a chance to get some things rolling and have a nice little stretch here at home against teams that no game feels like you just roll the ball out there and get a win anymore. But teams that you have a great opportunity to beat. So there's still something out there. But if you go on the road and lose at UTEP, then you've dug yourself a real hole.
To your point, and it's like when you step back with where everything is right now, as fans,
right?
Okay, as fans, you have to look at what is it time for, right? Is it time for people to question things and like the expectations are a lot higher and they deserve to do that? They deserve to be angry. They deserve to be upset about the results that they've seen so far. I have no problem with that.
Yep.
Right? Yes, because of everything that you just said, right? So no problem whatsoever. I'm not saying, you didn't need to stop, blah, blah. Like, no, the expectations are high here. They should be high. The administration of this place has gone all in on football. Look around.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so yes, you expect to win and win the majority of your games, period. End of conversation, right? Yet, at the same time, with where we're at right now with everything you just described, well, what time is it? It's a time to try to rally around this football team. That's where we're at right now, okay? You go on the road to UTEP and you get beat. Yeah. All right, well, that's a tough one. They're not very good, right? Yeah. And so, but right now, the things that you said, UTEP, 3 home games, got a chance to go on a little bit of run, make some decisions at quarterback. From the fans' perspective, it's a time to rally. So let's rally with them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, after UTEP, you come home, you get New Mexico State on a Tuesday night. They're not very good. Delaware just moved up from FCS.
They're pretty good.
And then Missouri State, who just moved up from FCS, and they're pretty decent as well. So those teams are decent. But again,
you can win them.
You can win those games. And man, like you feel like if and we saw it last year with Kennesaw State, but like you feel like this program should be so much further down the road than a Delaware or Missouri State, just in terms of where they're at, because,
And you go with Merdinger and you start throwing the rock.
So let's throw the rock. Let's get the ball in the hands of some of those playmakers out there.
Let's spread this thing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's spread this thing out, start throwing the rock. Let Merdinger walk in there. He's got a little savvy to him. You can see it. He's got that he's got a little glimmer. He's got a little savvy to him. He just needs full control of the wheel. And he's be able to shift that.
Like in Rocky
Bobby.
3 where he goes or 4 where he's driving. Where he's driving and he's like constantly shifting nonstop, and it just doesn't make sense how often he's shifting while he's on the after Apollo died, and he's just continually shifting nonstop.
What was the song that they
No Easy Way Out? Was it No Easy Way Out?
No Easy Way Out.
No shortcut. Yeah. Oh, God.
I love that.
That's so good.
Yes, that's where we're at right now.
That's where
you're sitting in that
He's
Ferrari.
That's
right. He's in the Ferrari. He's in the Lambo.
Yeah.
He's like, give me the keys. Let me shift this thing.
Yeah, he's like,
that's where we're
down
at.
Ward's Road, up, stop.
There's no shortcut home.
No shortcut.
There's no easy way out.
Listen, there were a couple of injuries I want to mention. Evan Dickens went out with what Chadwell said was concussion symptoms. So we'll see. Obviously, that would be a big loss. Although
that's hard.
Caden Williams, he had a late fumble, which definitely hurt what he did. But he had 92 yards rushing, almost 5 yards to carry. So good to see that young kid get some run. And then Brylan Green, according to Chadwell, said they may have dodged a bullet there. They don't feel these things can change. You never know. But he said they don't feel like it's a season ender with him, lower body injury, which that would be great. Like, you just hurt for Brylan.
When Brylan picked up that fumble,
I thought he was gone.
You got to go.
I thought he was gone. And he just got clipped. I went back and watched. First off, like, that broadcast, like, They didn't have replays. The names were it was Braylon Green the entire time. Like it was a mess. But anyway, like no replays was brutal. So I tried to go back and watch.
Trump would have called that a total disaster.
I couldn't tell if it was the offensive play got a piece of Brown or if he caught his heel on his teammate. I couldn't tell, but that was. I mean, if you take that back, who knows how the game unfolds.
I thought he was going to score.
I thought he did. I was too. But hopefully, what Chad Will said is true, that it's not a season ender, because Bryland's been through it already this year with the club on his hand, and you just feel for that kid.
That kid is fighting.
He is.
He gets the pick against JMU with the club on his hand. He's scooping. He's trying to score. That kid gives you everything he's got.
Love it. All right, so this week, Liberty on the road at UTEP. Give you a little bit on this squad. I thought this was a team that was getting ready to take a good step forward. It hasn't been the case. It's been a rough go for them so far this year. 1-4 on the season. They just lost this week to Louisiana Tech 30-11 at home. And Louisiana Tech's good, by the way. Like, that might be the team that ends up winning this conference. They've got a good squad there. But UTEP does not have an FBS win this season. Their only win was against UT Martin. They have former 5-star quarterback Malachi Nelson, which is one of the reasons I thought, like, if they put it together with him, they have a chance to be pretty decent. Remember, he started at USC. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Started at USC, didn't work out. Went to Boise State, was there last year, got beat out for that job. Now he's at UTEP. He's thrown 9 interceptions on the year, 4 against Louisiana Tech. He ended up getting benched in that game. Whoa. They brought in the guy who was their starter last year, Skylar Locklear, who's still on their roster. So we'll see who we see in terms of quarterback for UTEP. But they've turned it over 11 times this season. That's even more than Liberty. And opponents have scored 36 times off those turnovers. Haven't been very good offensively. And that's an area, I have an offensive-minded head coach. They thought that they would be a lot better there. But a very, very disappointing season for them thus far. And it sounds like from some of the articles I was looking at, their fan base as well, very vocal and very unhappy with
and that's a place too where, like, dude, their fan base actually they're passionate about.
Yes,
like, they could be good if they were good. They would go all in with them.
Yeah. So we'll see. Opportunity. I know it's another one on the road, long trip, midweek, little funky, but you get a few extra days if you're Liberty. Maybe we'll see if that helps get them healthy a little bit, but you got to go win this game.
We played UTEP last year very early in the season.
It was early. Yeah, we beat them here. It was kind of a close game early, and then we kind of pulled away.
I'll tell you a funny story.
What's that?
So I was on. We called that game, right?
We did.
We called the game. So we're on the call. So I was like just trying to do some different, like, learn some stuff about them and everything. And so I go back and I was listening to their broadcast of the game. I was on an airplane. Yeah. And so I'm listening to these guys talk, and they had a call-in show afterwards.
Oh yeah, I listened to that.
The call-in show was unbelievable.
Awesome. They did it for basketball too. I listened to it.
They're calling shows, so the guys do the broadcast, and then after it's over, they're like, "All right, lines are open. Call in." This one guy called in, and it was hilarious. He talked about, because they had to kick a field goal like on the last play, and they missed it. And they said that he claimed that somebody was in the end zone or in the parking lot with their lights on, flashing the car lights, so he would miss the field goal. He was so angry. And he wanted to blame it on the flashing car lights. Like, and then these guys trying to control this guy. That's just a side story, but it was funny. Yeah, but they're. But I'm gonna tell you what, when they call and show, like, dude, they had like 40,000 people at the game. Yeah, it was a huge crowd. It's their opening game, I think.
That's right.
Their coach was brand new last year, right?
Scotty Walden.
Walden, and the guy's a maniac.
Yeah,
like he's wide open.
Yeah, he is.
Right, and so they had a huge crowd, and they ended up losing the game. And but that fan base is they want to win there.
That was their opener against Southern Utah. They lost in overtime.
Overtime.
I think you're right. Like they packed the place out. Was it the Sun Bowl where they play? Yeah. Great stadium there. But they had over 41,000. So that's like one of those kind of like not sleeping giant necessarily, but like a program that if you get them turned the right way, they're going to start showing up. They want to win. I don't know if they'll be showing up on Wednesday night the way they've been playing here.
Dude, that would stink to go out and get a 5-star quarterback from USC, like one of the best in the nation. The guy throws 4 picks.
Yeah, he hasn't been very good.
I bet they're fired up.
He hasn't been very good.
Them and Flames Nation are probably.
I mean, this is kind of one of those
fan bases right now.
Yeah, it's like somebody's got to win. Yeah, right? And whoever ends up losing this one feels like
hopefully Flames will pull it off.
It's going to be a long year. Do want to get some other sports as well. Listen, it's been tough for Liberty football. We understand that, but We might be a volleyball school. We might
Jeremy
be
White is
a
getting
volleyball school.
This guy just saunters into town. And he saunters.
Oh, he saunters.
Oh, he's a saunter.
I went to the game Saturday.
Oh, he does some sauntering.
Took the family there. He's just like, hands in his pocket, just like Mr. Casual.
Yeah.
Like just,
he's a saunter.
They're good. They won 2 matches against Louisiana Tech, swept both of them. Didn't lose a set on the weekend. So Liberty Volleyball now 14-1.
Stop it.
They've won 10 straight.
Stop it.
But they also get a challenge here this week, and I want to double check that I have this right. But I have them at UTEP as well this weekend, which UTEP is one of the better programs. It appears, they're at UTEP also. So both teams out there. So maybe they'll go watch some football and then come back. I don't know. But UTEP is also 2-0 in conference play. Yeah, Friday, Saturday. Okay, yeah. So they're here. Take it back because the Wednesday things throw me off. But they're at UTEP this weekend.
Do we play football on a Wednesday?
Yeah, it's UTEP. It's on a Wednesday, and then it's a
Tuesday. Go back to volleyball.
So volleyball at the Miners. They're 12-2, 2-0 in conference play as well. So this is when you'll find out. Like, where do you match up against some of the better teams in the conference? If Liberty's able to go out there and take both, like then we can start talking. The other thing is I was watching this team play. Like they're super young. Like this Liberty team. A lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen, a lot of young kids. Like you keep this group together, the way they're looking, like they could be really, really good. Like they already are very good, way better than anybody would have expected. But yeah, they could be really. I'd
like to know what do they have like overall rankings?
Like in terms of
nationally, like
I don't know.
14-1, like
you wonder what more it would take to kind of like sneak into,
all of a sudden, like because I understand there's some some pretty good volleyball programs out there, but
I'm not as well versed in the.
I'd be interested to see. Maybe we do a little crack research on that and come back and see where they are after this trip. After Jeremy White saunters in for a little 2-0 at El Paso, picks him up a little burrito, California, and then comes back home and with a 2-0, sitting at 16-1.
You can get some good food down there.
Oh my God,
I'm telling you. Yeah, I've been there one time. It was really good. So they played well. Excited for what their season has been. Liberty Field Hockey ranked 5th in the country. Won both their games. They beat UConn, beat William and Mary, shut each of them out. So Liberty's 2-0 in Big East play. They come home Friday afternoon, big one. Old Dominion rival. Also, remember that was the bloodbath game. Remember that whole controversy?
I saw that video popped up on my feed the other day.
Really?
Yeah, it was the ODU bloodbath.
Remember that whole bloodbath controversy?
I mean, this game.
Yeah.
I mean,
no love lost between
no love
lost,
and I really love the Liberty Field Hockey team, and they battled my Tar Heels tough, and I know
that's their only loss.
That's their only loss, and Tar Heels win natties in field hockey, right? But when ODU comes into town, I just feel like I think Liberty's on such a roll in field hockey right now. It's going to be a bloodbath.
We will see.
I set that up.
Yeah, you did. We will see. Excited. So get out there Friday afternoon for that one. And then finally, Liberty women's soccer won at New Mexico State. Men's soccer dominant win here at home against Southern Indiana. Men's soccer seems to be on an upswing this year. They've struggled here the last couple of years. Seems like they're going to be a lot better.
Man, all these other sports doing great.
I know. It really is that way. It's literally the only sport that's not performing well this fall has been football.
And I'm going to tell you who's going to put it, and they started practice, going to put a product out on the court is old Richie McKay.
You're not right about that.
That basketball squad is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, they're going to be really
That's going to be a fun to watch. That environment there with the athletes they have and woo.
I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. So on that note, we want to get both. I want to get Richie McKay to stop by.
Let's get some fresh.
Alexis Sherrard to stop by now. He's leading the women's program. Maybe get some of the new basketball players. Want to get them by here too. The other thing is, I need to talk this through with you. But typically when we've gone to midweek games, we've tried to do the podcast, shift it to the morning after the game. So we'll try to work with that in your schedule. If we end up doing that, that would be next Thursday. So we'll figure that out.
Too easy.
We'll figure that out.
Give me something hard.
So don't expect something on Monday. We'll probably hit you midweek the next couple of weeks. You want to get to mailbag?
Let's get some mailbag.
All right. You want to do the...
Every time you make me smile, you turn around and make me smile. Mailbag.
Thank you. Got a message from David Moore, M-O-I-R-E. How do you say that?
Moi.
David Moore. It's French.
He's very French.
Moi.
Right. Very French.
He played at LBC 50 years ago.
Oh, wow.
75 to 78, one of the guys early on. And so Coach Tom Dowling.
Moyer. Here it is, Moyer.
Moy, you think?
Yeah, Moyer.
Okay. He said Coach Tom Dowling called him Captain Crazy back in the day. He was
my kind of guy.
Yeah, that's right. So we need a few Captain
Crazy.
Crazies
Go, Captain Crazy.
right now.
Put a cape on that guy.
He was, you may have seen him in the Norfolk State game. He was the red hat guy. You know, the guy that comes in, stops like during TV timeouts.
Oh yeah.
That he had that role down there at the ODU game. So he just wanted to shout out. You know, he was on the field, a former Flame on the field. So thank you for touching base with us.
Absolutely.
You
just want to let us know that?
Just want to let us know. I appreciate that.
No question.
No question. Just want to let us know.
Hey, shout out.
Robert.
Captain Crazy.
Yeah, good to hear from Captain Crazy. Robert let us know.
Uh-oh.
Listen, we got some good feedback on the Emily Austin billboard prank we did.
One of the best ever executed.
Which, you know what? I'm going to put the picture of that on this episode. Like, I'll put it right now. Because she went ahead and posted the picture on Instagram of herself.
Good for
Like,
her.
we were trying to be like, we don't want to show it because she might not like how, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she posted that picture. So now I'm like, well, shoot, we could have
now
just
it's all
posted.
fair game.
It's fair game now.
You know what? You gotta love that about Emily.
That's right.
She's very secure in who she is.
Yeah, so we'll post that. But
I was wondering how long it would take for we. It didn't take long.
No.
I was wondering how long it would take before we had a shirtless Jason Cudd picture with the baby. It didn't take long.
About 90 seconds.
How do you work? How do you weave this into the new baby? Yep, it was done.
But
which is great.
Robert emailed and said, wanted to give you a roaring round of applause on the billboard. Well planned, well designed, well executed.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you, Robert. We're proud of that.
They now have seen the picture. You just posted it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful. John texted in. He wants to clean house.
I love John.
He's ready.
Let John clean it out.
He's done. He's
done.
ready to clean house.
What is John saying?
He said, time to move on. We can't recruit. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what John weighed in with. Yeah. All right, let's get into our bold predictions. And it's the Snell scoring system. So, as you may have known, I had been dominating our bold predictions so far this season. And let me pull those up real fast. You went with a 27-17 Old Dominion win. Emily was 38-18. I went 31-16.
I think it goes to Joe Yock.
We end up splitting the points.
What's Snell talking about?
Because we tied at 20. So we split the 3 points.
Oh, you and I were 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm at 5.5 for the year. Emily's at 2. Joe's at 1.5. Don't question Jeff Snell.
No, I'm sorry, Jeff.
His proprietary,
he's a man of the numbers.
No
emotion
system.
There's no emotion in it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old BCS. You don't really know what goes into it.
Yeah.
How it's determined. You just know what spits out at the end. So you don't question Jeff Snell. So you and I split the point this week. Fantasy, though, let me get into our Flames fantasy.
Joe Yock is on a roll.
It has not been pretty.
It's called.
But it's getting interesting after this week.
What?
Let's break it down. So Joe Yock this week.
Dante Lee is the only one who did.
Dante Lee and Brylan Green.
Brylan Green.
Yeah, he did good.
Bingo.
So you had those two. You end up scoring 15.3. Yeah. Because nobody else really did anything for you.
But nobody's going to score.
Jamari Person didn't have a catch. Reese Smith had 1 catch for 0 yards. So you didn't. Yeah, the offense is making this a tough fantasy season.
Yeah, they are.
They are. So you get 15.3 points. Emily continues
her downward spiral.
Evan Dickens getting hurt.
Tell about who she picked up.
Well, she picked up Evan Dickens, and then he got hurt. So that didn't help her. He had 1.3 points. She scored 3.3 points this week.
That's hilarious.
Not good. So she's at 65.9. You're at 138.4 on the season. She's at 65.9.
Wow,
I had a monster week. I've been waiting on this. So yeah, Juju Gray got in the end zone. So he had 8.6 points. Joe Carter had just a monster of a game.
Oh boy, Joe.
I'm waiting on Joe to do a little bit.
Boy, Joe.
Joe Carter had 13 tackles,
Joe.
tackle for loss, and a forced fumble. So good for him there. Darrell Farrar, who I picked up this week as well, had 11 tackles and a forced fumble. So those two guys really, really carried me. Caden Williams also had over 7 points. He lost a couple on the fumble, or it could have been better. And
you got Joe?
So I scored 45.3 points this week. I'm now at 107.1.
45.
Right. So you're at 138.4. I'm at 107.1. So back in the mix. Still a long way to go, but at least Emily's tanking at this point.
Emily, just
she's looking forward to that first pick next year. But we got a little drama building here. So happy about that. So we're back in it.
Wow. Okay.
That's about it. Anything else you want to get to? Thanks to our friends at OrthoVirginia for sponsoring the podcast. Maybe back Thursday next week after the UTEP game. And hopefully, because I got to be honest with you, Joe, these podcasts get harder and harder to do.
We still give the folks.
Listen.
We give the folks everything we have.
We give everything. We
leave
pour it all out. We leave it all right here. But
I get in a cold tub after these things.
I know. It's physically,
mentally, emotionally.
I'm wearing it right now. Yeah. Like physically, it's taking it out of me. But hopefully next week.
We're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep fighting.
That's right.
We're not going anywhere.
We're at the all about the punch. We're going to bring the punch. We're going to
keep bringing the punch every week.
Every week.
I love it.
So for Joe, I'm Matt. Next week, Thursday, we think. Let's get a W at UTEP. Let's go to El Paso, get a win, and then it's all out there in front of you. You come home for 3 straight, and you get right. That's what we're talking about.
It's the Flames.
It's the Central.
It's the podcast.
We'll see you next week.